Imagine being able to tell a volcano, hey, just chill out for a bit. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But what if I told you that some of the world's brightest minds are working on a plan to do just that? Today we're diving into the mind-blowing idea of how we might one day silence volcanoes. First, let's get a quick refresher. Why do volcanoes even erupt? Deep beneath the Earth's surface, it's incredibly hot. This heat melts rock, creating a thick, flowing substance called magma. Magma is less dense than the solid rock around it, so it wants to rise. Think of it like a cork held underwater. The moment you let go, it shoots to the surface. As this magma rises, gases that were dissolved in it, like water vapor and carbon dioxide, start to come out of solution, forming bubbles. This is exactly like opening a shaken-up can of soda. The pressure builds and builds until, kaboom! The volcano erupts, spewing ash, gas, and lava. These eruptions can be devastating. We've all seen the images. Entire towns buried, flights grounded for weeks, and skies turned dark with ash. Take the 1815 eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia. It was so massive that it caused a year without a summer around the globe, leading to crop failures and famine. It's a stark reminder that we live on a very active and powerful planet. For centuries, our only strategy has been to run. We monitor volcanoes, predict eruptions as best we can, and evacuate. But what if we could move from defense to offense? What if we could prevent the big one from ever happening? This brings us to the bold plan. The core idea isn't to kill the volcano, but to give it a way to release pressure gently and continuously instead of all at once in a catastrophic explosion. The concept is surprisingly simple, even if the execution is incredibly complex. It's called geothermal cooling. Scientists are proposing drilling into the sides of a supervolcano's magma chamber. A magma chamber is like a giant underground cavern filled with molten rock, the fuel for an eruption. It's the ultimate pressure cooker. So, how would this work? The plan is to drill a borehole, maybe up to 10 kilometers deep, down towards this chamber. But we wouldn't drill directly into it. That would be like poking a sleeping dragon and could trigger the very eruption we're trying to prevent. Instead, the borehole would get close enough to the chamber's edge where the rock is extremely hot, around 350 degrees Celsius or 662 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we'd pump high-pressure water down the hole. When this water comes into contact with the superheated rock, it would flash into steam and absorb a massive amount of heat. This steam would then be piped back up to the surface. And here's the brilliant part. This isn't just a safety measure. The superheated steam coming back up could be used to power turbines and generate enormous amounts of clean geothermal electricity. We'd be cooling the volcano down and getting a massive, sustainable energy source as a bonus. It's a win-win. Think of it like a car radiator. The engine gets hot and coolant circulates to carry that heat away, preventing the engine from overheating and exploding. In this case, the water is the coolant, and the volcano's magma chamber is the engine. By continuously drawing heat away, we could theoretically cool the magma over centuries or millennia. As the magma cools, it would start to crystallize and solidify, becoming less and less likely to erupt explosively. We would essentially be putting the volcano into a long, slow, and peaceful sleep. Of course, this is a monumental undertaking with huge challenges. First, the cost. A project like this is estimated to cost billions of dollars. Getting governments and organizations around the world to fund such a long-term, high-risk project is a massive political and economic hurdle. Who pays for it? Who reaps the energy benefits? These are tough questions. Then there's the engineering challenge. Drilling 10 kilometers into rock that is hot enough to melt lead is at the very edge of our current technological capabilities. The drill bits would have to withstand immense heat and pressure. And what about the risk? As I mentioned, poking around a supervolcano is a delicate business. A mistake could be catastrophic. There's a public perception hurdle too. Convincing people who live near a volcano that drilling into it is a good idea is going to be a tough sell. You'd need ironclad safety assurances and a lot of public education. However, the potential payoff is incalculable. A super eruption, like the one brewing under Yellowstone National Park, could plunge the world into a volcanic winter, devastate global agriculture, and cause a societal collapse that makes our current problems look tiny. Compared to that outcome, A few $1 billion and some engineering risks start to look a lot more reasonable. This isn't just about protecting a single city. It's about safeguarding our entire civilization. The leading candidate for a project like this is the Campi Flegrei supervolcano in Italy, near Naples. It's a densely populated area that has been showing signs of unrest for decades. Scientists are already studying it intensely, and some initial smaller-scale drilling projects have been proposed to better understand the geology and test the feasibility of this grand idea. So, while we won't be seeing volcano-taming power plants popping up tomorrow, this is no longer just science fiction. It's a real, tangible concept being debated and researched by serious scientists at NASA and other institutions. It represents a fundamental shift in our relationship with nature, from being at its mercy to becoming active stewards of our planet, using our ingenuity to mitigate its most powerful